CelJaded here with another episode of Total Extreme. Look, it's Monday, week 1 of April, folks. You know what episode of Raw this is. It's the go-home episode before WrestleMania 22. The final chance to get these stories right where we want them before that huge supercard. And what better way to start this episode than with the WWE Women's Champion hitting the ring. Trish Stratus is here. She is demanding that Mickie James get into this ring and explain herself right goddamn now. Because Trish Stratus 2 weeks ago was essentially left for dead by Mickie James, and at the hands of 3 vile women, Trish Stratus was beaten and left broken in that ring, only for Mickie James to grab Trish's own title belt and smash her over the head with it. After weeks, after months of pretending to be her friend, Mickie James reveals her true colours at last. The facade has dropped. Everything that Trish Stratus has gone through, all the hell that she has gone through, now it becomes clear. It was because of one woman, and that woman is Mickie James. So Mickie James, Trish Stratus cannot wait to get her hands on Mickie James, but for the moment she is going to remain composed just long enough to hear what this vixen has to say for herself. And as we march on to the next segment, here she is, folks, Mickie James. And she hits the ring looking very pleased with herself, and she's got the mic. And why? Why did Mickie James do this? Well, she wanted to show Trish what it's like not to feel loved. And in her own words, if you just look at this, okay? I made you turn against your peers, Trish. I made you turn against your best friend. I made you turn against yourself. And it's true. If we think about it, Trish Stratus has not been the champion that we knew in recent times. She's striking her protege one moment. She's causing drama backstage. Everything that Trish Stratus has touched has turned to crap while Mickie James has been around. And it was all Mickie James's doing. And it's finally revealed here. And Trish Stratus looking absolutely disgusted as Mickie James continues to kind of reveal what's on her mind here. Because Mickie James is saying, you remember, Trish, before that tag match, I said to you, I'm yours. But at WrestleMania, you and your WWE Women's Championship, that title belt, that one thing that you do love. You might not share my love, Trish, but you do love that title. And I'm going to take that from you. Because at WrestleMania, you and your WWE Women's Championship are mine. So Mickie James essentially has thrown the challenge out to Trish Stratus. I'm yours. But what's yours is going to be mine. Because if Mickie James can't have Trish, then she will have her title belt. And Trish Stratus, as we said, the look on her face here defies description. She cannot believe the lengths that Mickie James has gone to cause this pain and this suffering. This level of malignancy is just unheard of. And Trish Stratus now, as we go to the next segment, raises her fist, and let's face it, folks, if anyone deserves a punch in the face for what they've done, it is Mickie James. But Mickie James falls to her knees here, absolutely distraught, tears running down her face, and Trish pauses here as Mickie James seems to welcome the punch from Trish. Can you believe this? Mickie James is welcoming a punch from Trish. Does Mickie James hate herself as much as Trish Stratus but seemingly hates her in this moment? And Trish Stratus just realizing just how pathetic and how misguided this woman is in front of her after all she's done. In this moment now, Trish Stratus, seeing Mickie James at her most vulnerable, just decides to walk away. And she turns her back on Mickie James. She approaches that ring apron. She's just going to leave all this behind her, when Mickie James asks one last question. And that question? Why do you hate me, Trish? Why do you hate me so much? That's all that Mickie James has left to say. And Trish Stratus now, turning back to Mickie, realizing this issue will not be put to rest until she tackles it head on. And Trish Stratus grabs that microphone and she says to Mickie James, "This isn't how you treat someone you love, Mickie. And this Sunday, that's a lesson I will teach you the hard way." So, it would seem, challenge accepted. At WrestleMania, WWE Women's Champion Trish Stratus will defend against Mickie James. Look forward to it, folks. You haven't got long to wait now. Whew. So, off to something a bit lighter, eh? Carlito now gives Chris Masters a pep talk ahead of his opening match with Kane. So the last time we saw these two men, it was Carlito in a losing effort against the Big Show when he intentionally got himself counted out rather than face the big man's wrath. But Chris Masters has found himself in the unenviable position of facing Kane one-on-one. And yeah, that is a match that's coming up right now, so let's get to it. And wow, look at this. Well, that certainly overachieved. A 70 rating. We're in the deep green for Chris Masters defeating Kane by countout. So Kane is the one counted out on this occasion when Carlito kind of causes the distraction there, interferes, and Kane kind of fighting Carlito on the outside, doesn't make it back into the ring in time, and is counted out. But I'm sure that Kane doesn't care that much. He's more than happy to beat up poor Carlito on the outside. And Chris Masters here, hey, look at this. Chris Masters and Kane have good chemistry, notice. So that might be a reason for the high rating there. Great stuff. Always happy to see that and give our segment ratings a boost. But as we move on, it is Kane chasing Carlito to the back, up the rampway, while Chris Masters gets thrown around by the Big Show. So Big Show kind of standing behind Chris Masters as Masters celebrates his count-out win, only to turn around to be facing down a 7'2" monster that looks very, very upset with him. So Chris Masters getting a bit of a beating on the inside and Carlito getting a bit of a beating on the outside. But the next time these men will be competing, of course, will be at WrestleMania, as the whole reason for this match and this segment is to kind of to tell the story between these two tag teams that just can't seem to get along. And yes, the 5-way ladder match to determine new undisputed tag team champions of WWE. Carlito, Masters, Big Show and Kane all involved in that match, and you can bet they're going to be eager to get their hands on each other when that supercard rolls around. But until then, we have got the CEO himself, Vince McMahon, talking about WrestleMania, and in the interests of stimulating competition, Vince McMahon is booking a special 6-man tag team match tonight for our main event as one last hurrah before WrestleMania rolls around. And who have we got in the match, Vince? Well, we have got Edge teaming up with CM Punk and Gregory Helms to face John Cena, Rob Van Dam and Ric Flair. So yeah, stimulate competition, sure. No, more like stirring the pot, because if you look at the 6 men involved in this match, every single man has a problem with someone in that match. So yeah, talk about combustible elements. This is the match for that. So Vince McMahon knows exactly what he's doing with that smirk on his face. Yeah, sparks are going to fly when we get to the main event. You can be absolutely sure of that. And wow, another great segment rating here of 72. Mick Foley off his game apparently, but that doesn't seem to have slowed him down much. We should have got him back in the ring sooner, because Mick Foley going to a 72 match with Shawn Daivari. Just a quick submission there with a mandible claw to give him a little bit of momentum as well. So Mick Foley and Daivari overachieving here on Monday Night Raw. Great stuff from them two. We're off to a real roll on this show. And yeah, the good times keep coming, because with a 61, it is Umaga hitting the ring. And he is absolutely desperate to get his hands on Mick Foley, of course, after Mick Foley threw him off a stage. And the last time, Estrada, his manager, was holding Umaga back from attacking Mick Foley. But Umaga is on the loose now. No one's holding him back. And as he gets into the ring to fight with Mick Foley reveals a barbed wire weapon and fights back, brandishing that against Umaga. And the brawl is on, and Umaga once again being shown to feel pain here at the hands of Mick Foley. So Mick Foley has somehow done it again. He has taken the fight to this monster, this Samoan savage, finally has a weakness, and that weakness appears to be Mick Foley and his never-ending bag of tricks that he just keeps pulling out, all the hardcore tricks that he's got, and really getting in touch with his roots here as he battles this monster Umaga. And it's pretty clear now, isn't it, folks, that these two men are on a collision course at WrestleMania. It will be Mick Foley versus Umaga in a hardcore match. So you can definitely, if this is the kind of ratings we've got to look forward to, definitely look forward to this one. Very much so. And as we continue, we've got Edge now, an increasingly paranoid rated R superstar, the WWE champion himself, but for how much longer? Frantically now trying to turn people against John Cena. Edge pretty much spending 5 seconds per person here, finding every semi-sympathetic face he can in the backstage area. Just look at this rogues gallery of humanity. You've got Masters, Carlito, Hunter, CM Punk, Helms, Francine, and even a disheveled Mickie James there, still simmering with anger from the opening of the show. And Edge is just talking to anything that moves here to try and get some traction against John Cena, trying to get some allies on his side, and Edge using all of his powers of persuasion to whip the locker room into a frenzy here. So what a scene, what a chaotic scene it is backstage with the heels here on Monday Night Raw. Can only imagine where this one's going to lead to, but wow, I'm liking where this one is leading to, because it's Booker T taunting Shawn Michaels in a 91 segment. We're in the blue now as as this show just seems to be taking off into the stratosphere with Booker T taunting Shawn Michaels and daring the man to interfere in the upcoming match that Booker T is about to have. So why is that? Well, we know that Vince McMahon said he was tired of Booker T and Shawn Michaels taking over Raw, and said that before their match at WrestleMania, before Booker T and HBK lock horns one more time at WrestleMania 22, Vince has said that if either man lays a finger on each other before WrestleMania, then they will forfeit their win in that match. So Vince McMahon has made it clear he wants a no physicality order between these two men, or there is going to be serious repercussions. And Shawn Michaels obviously begging for that match against Booker T, so he can't be the instigator here. He can't lay a hand on Booker T. But Booker T is feeling pretty comfortable at the moment because he's got 2 pinfall victories over Shawn Michaels. He wouldn't care for a moment if HBK punched him and cost himself the win at WrestleMania. So Booker T trying to get Shawn Michaels to give him the forfeit win. To little success, but certainly the mind games are having their effect as Shawn Michaels here just quivering with anticipation. Cannot wait to get this man alone in the ring at WrestleMania, where he'll be really ready to cut loose on him. So Booker T in action next, and oh my goodness, another overachieving match. Booker T with a 76 rating here, a 71 overall, as he defeats Rosie with the bookend there. It was meant to be another filler match, but wow, we're deep in the green again for this one. So I don't know, like, everyone's really bringing it here on the Go Home show. They must know that WrestleMania is just around the corner, so they're all bringing their A game. We love to see it. And oh man, you want to talk about A game? It doesn't get any more grade A than that, does it? Look at this, a segment rating 100. What's that? The 4th that we've had on this save. I'm almost surprised it took Shawn Michaels and Booker T that long to get it. I would have thought with Shawn Michaels' low morale at the moment, that would have been an impossibility. But hey, he proved me wrong, and what a way to prove it, because Shawn Michaels, what is he doing here? Well, he's stealing Booker T's spotlight from the stage with his sexy boy antics. So at the culmination of the match, Booker T is on the top rope, ready to celebrate and bask in the glory of his win in front of a packed audience here. Only for HBK, his music hits, the sexy boy anthem plays, and Booker T turns around now, turns his attention towards the entranceway, and there he is, Shawn Michaels in the full sexy boy regalia, up to his old tricks, and really putting the mind games on now, because he can't lay a finger on Booker T. but he can sure as hell upstage the man. And you know Shawn Michaels is always ready and willing to do that. And what a segment for this one. It couldn't be much better than that. So great stuff from Booker T and Shawn Michaels. Honestly, I cannot wait to see what these two guys do in their match at WrestleMania. And, well, you might as well stay in the blue if we're there. And Hulk Hogan, man, he came to play as well, because he is now cutting a classic Hulkster promo here, a classic promo of his own. Of course, we saw a classic Jerry the King Lawler promo on a previous episode of Raw, so that's kind of where this note is coming from. But yes, in this promo, Hulk Hogan is declaring Lawler an enemy of Hulkamania, and perhaps an enemy of the entire United States while he's at it, who knows. But yeah, Hulk Hogan really going back to roots here, like the King Jerry Lawler did before, and Hulk Hogan will not be taken advantage of, he says. Jerry Lawler will not be becoming a legend at his expense at WrestleMania. But yes, Jerry Lawler got what he was after, said Hulk Hogan. He's just going to regret that, because, you need to be careful what you wish for, Jerry. And you have awoken the beast that is Hulk Hogan. And at WrestleMania, it will be these two men squaring off in the middle of that ring to decide who the king of pro wrestling really is. And yeah, looking forward to that one. And a segment rating 88. We're still in the blue. We're on a roll to end all rolls now, as Triple H urges CM Punk and Gregory Helms to focus ahead of their tag match. Remember, it is CM Punk, Edge, and Gregory Helms teaming together to face John Cena, Ric Flair and Rob Van Dam, and Triple H, of course, in an alliance here with CM Punk at the moment, coaching the kid and telling him that he needs to get his emotions in check and that he needs to work with these two men, Helms and Edge, if he wants to come out looking good in that main event. But Edge says don't worry, because he will be taking point here. So Edge has gathered his allies, and we're getting very close now to the main event, where it'll be a huge 6-man tag. And continue with the blue. I love it. It's John Cena who's vibing with Ric Flair and RVD as they head to the ring. They are backstage, heading out, and John Cena finally showing up here to wow the crowd with another great segment. And it is Hulk Hogan who has just exited the interview position there, and as he passes by his fellow babyface, he says simply good luck. So they have the blessing of the Hulkster. John Cena, Rob Van Dam, and Ric Flair will face Edge, Gregory Helms, and CM Punk in the main event of Raw. What kind of rating can we hit for this one? Here's hoping for a good one. All right, and we are in the green, so you can't ask for much more. So great heat and good wrestling. Yes, it's Edge, CM Punk, and Gregory Helms. Unfortunately, going to a draw with John Cena, Rob Van Dam, and Ric Flair, following a disqualification. And yeah, you can probably guess the reason for that is that, these men are not going to be they are not going to be observing any rules in this match. They are not going to be caring about wins and losses. They just want to get a hold of each other. Edge, of course, trying to protect his title any way he can from John Cena. CM Punk in a bitter kind of mood he has been against Rob Van Dam after Rob Van Dam upset him at the Royal Rumble. Gregory Helms, of course, his old tightly wound self, has been desperate to pry that Intercontinental Championship from around Ric Flair's waist, and the Nature Boy has been kind of selfishly hoarding that, Helms has said in recent times. But yeah, great match here. Edge with the 89 performance, really carrying this one to a stellar rating. So really good stuff. Plenty of bonuses in there for this one. We gave them the leeway to have an all-out best match that they could, and they certainly didn't disappoint. So we did put the double DQ, which will probably hurt this one in a little bit, but let's face it, folks, you're not going to see any winners between these men until WrestleMania. But before we get to WrestleMania, we're not quite done, because there's still more fun to come, folks, because Edge now, after the match, is motioning to the back and has instigated a brawl in the ring. And the cavalry for Edge has come in the form of Carlito and Chris Masters. But as Edge instigates this brawl, look who it is. The All-Americans have intercepted. Kurt Angle and Shelton Benjamin hit the ring. Carlito and Masters have come to Edge's aid, as we just explained. So Edge wasn't the only one gathering allies backstage. John Cena, perhaps. Maybe Rob Van Dam and Ric Flair were at it as well. So, yeah, a chaotic scene here at ringside with faces and heels all going at it. But we're not done, folks. We're not done at all, because as Cena helps RVD fight off CM Punk and Triple H in the ring, who's now kind of leapt in the ring to kind of run interference himself, we've got Francine entering the ring, trying to separate Helms and Flair. So we've got Francine in there now. Triple H has joined the fray. We've still got those tag teams on the outside, of course. Not enough space to show them all, but trust me, they are there. A real chaotic scene at ringside. All sorts of chaos going here with another green rating. Love to see it. But we're not done, because now Mick Foley and Umaga's brawl from earlier has reached the ringside area. They've just been fighting this entire time, and they now hit ringside, and things are getting even more chaotic when Booker T and HBK show up. But when these two men enter, they kind of look at each other and realise, well, we can't fight each other. As we've said before, there's a no physicality order between them. They can't fight each other. So the two men kind of looking each other square in the face here, and kind of have to turn around and pick a fight with someone else. So Booker T comes to the aid of Triple H and CM Punk, unsurprisingly, some fellow heels there. And then John Cena and RVD assisted now by Shawn Michaels in their respective battles. So a real chaotic scene at ringside with everyone pouring in at once. But we're still not done, because now Big Show and Kane have come out to battle Carlito and Chris Masters. They gave them the slip earlier, but they are back. So Big Show and Kane want them a piece of the tag team there. Only for Hulk Hogan to come to the aid of Mick Foley. So remember, he was wishing some baby faces good luck earlier. It seems he hung around. It was a good job he did. So he's come out to help Mick Foley against Umaga, who's still looking absolutely terrifying at ringside. Only for Jerry Lawler to take his moment and sneak attack Hulk Hogan from behind. So what a scene this has turned into. All the rivals fighting each other, all the storylines coalescing as one. But we're still not done, because Lita now assisting Edge against John Cena and almost gets FU'd when Mickie James shows up. Was being courted earlier by Edge for her aid, and she has come to the rescue of Lita here. Saves her from an FU, but of course we know that Trish Stratus isn't going to let that slide, and she intervenes and she takes down Mickie James. And yeah, Mickie James ain't looking so vulnerable anymore, so anything goes. And Trish Stratus with a few right hands, Mickie James kind of like desperately clawing to get away from Trish. What a scene this has turned into. And what are we going to end with? Can you guess, folks? I'll give you a second. It's probably not hard to guess what our final segment on this show is going to be, is it? Oh, went so close to the 100. It is Edge and John Cena alone in the ring with this chaos surrounding the ring. It's all collapsing in on itself here at WWE Raw. The dream is collapsing, folks, but we've got one last segment, and as they are alone in the ring, Edge and Cena back into each other, spin around. Edge, he's got his WWE Championship belt in hand, which he retrieved, and he takes a wild swing with that belt. One last chance to clock John Cena ahead of WrestleMania, but no, Cena was ready for him. He ducks the attack, he picks up Edge, and he hits a huge FU. Edge goes stumbling to the outside, obliterated by John Cena's finisher, and Cena now alone in the ring with all this chaos surrounding him. Lita trying to pick up her man and escape the ensuing chaos. John Cena has one last thing to say to Edge, and he's going to say it in sign language. And that, of course, is, "You can't see me." And with that, we are out. The show comes to an end, and it's a 91 rating. Pretty sure that's the joint best we've ever had. So, yeah, you couldn't ask for more here on the Go Home Show to WrestleMania for the Raw brand. That was it, folks. Monday, week 1 of April 2006 is in the bag for the Raw brand. When we come back for Raw, it will be Sunday, week 1 of April 2006. And that show, of course, will be WrestleMania 22. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I can guarantee you are going to be enjoying the next one and the one after that just as much, if not more. So I will see you back here for SmackDown in week 1 of April 2006. But until then, stay with us because WrestleMania is just around the corner and this is one show you're not going to want to miss. Catch you later.